The big news yesterday, I'm sure most of you are aware, SpaceX acquired XAI, a monumental deal. The combined entity now worth approximately $1.25 trillion for now. And this less than a year after XAI acquired X, which I guess technically means the next time I get paid out from X with creator revenue share, a paycheck's coming from SpaceX. So I guess I should call my parents and tell them, hey, guess what? Your son finally made it. I work for SpaceX. Let's look at some of the media reactions. This Walter Isaacson, great biographer, but also seemingly very deranged leftard. Make of that what you will. Let's see how this is being portrayed in the finance media.
Joining us now is Walter Isaacson, an advisory partner at Perella Weinberg, professor at Tulane, and a CNBC contributor. He's also the author of Elon Musk, the authorized biography of the Tesla and SpaceX founder. Walter, it's really great to have you here. And what's your reaction to the deal?
It's amazing how Elon loves to blur the distinctions between his different companies. People move back and forth between them. And now it's good he's eliminating some of the distinctions, especially the distinction between SpaceX, which has an enormous business, especially in recreating the internet in outer space. But also, he wants to use his new Starship, which will launch again. Flight 12 will be in mid-March, to make 1 million satellites in low Earth orbit. And that will be able to create the type of data centers and energy that you need. So it makes a lot of sense for him to have that vertically integrated. Secondly, which nobody's really commented on, he now has two types of AI companies. The first is a company like SpaceX and XAI. And XAI, by the way, is very good now as a chatbot, and Grokpedia is good. But it's a digital AI company. On the other side, you have with Tesla and other things, Optimus, real-world AI.
So credit to Walter here. He's actually made an important point, which I've been saying for a couple of years now. In fact, since XAI was first founded, XAI has the digital AI, e.g. LLM, language, video, images, trained on the open internet, plus the X data stream, exclusive access to that data stream, by the way. Plenty of stuff to train on. In theory, many other companies, if they've got the AI compute and access to the open internet, can train a fairly comparable language model, image model, video model. However, that's only half of the necessary ingredients for full artificial general intelligence. The other half is the real-world AI, which, as I've pointed out many times, requires data from the real world, enormous amounts of high-quality real-world data. And the only way to get enormous amounts of high-quality real-world data is by having millions of sensors in the real world collecting the data. You might even call them Teslas. Now, it's really important to understand language model, video, image generation, because of the open internet, there's plenty of training data for that stuff. The same is not true for real-world data. The only company on Earth with a real-world data stream even close to Tesla is, oh wait, there isn't one. It's just Tesla, motherfuckers. And this is really important. If a company wants to solve artificial general intelligence, not just digital intelligence, general intelligence, you need language. You need the digital intelligence component, but you also need the real-world component. I've said before, I'll say again, the value of Tesla's real-world data stream is surely in the tens of billions of dollars, if not more. And critically important, in order for another company to start accumulating data on the same scale as Tesla, they would somehow need to instantly put approximately 9 million sensor-encrusted robots out in the real world. And then they'd also need to invent a time machine and go back in time, because Tesla's actually been collecting data at massive scale for more than a decade. As far as I'm aware, we don't yet have time machines or magic buttons to press, so I'm not sure how any other company is going to accumulate a substantial amount of real-world data over a reasonable time frame. Meanwhile, you've got XAI leading the way with Grok. You've got Tesla continuing to improve their FSD and working on Optimus. I think this only ends one way. So again, credit to Walter for being possibly the first person other than me that I've heard say this. Not that it wasn't extremely obvious, but it's just unusual to hear this actually mentioned, unless I'm hearing myself.
Cars that can drive, robots that can move, and that type of thing is a way to keep those two companies connected, but yet distinct.
For now, more on the possibility of SpaceX and XAI, which I'm just going to call SpaceX now, but obviously including XAI. after the acquisition, the possibility of SpaceX getting folded into Tesla.
So you're a fan, I mean, not like I'm trying to turn you into give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but you think that there's a strategy, because the criticism, Walter, is he's taking XAI, stuffing it into SpaceX. And it's a little strange because just, I think, last week, we were told that SpaceX was going to be worth $1.5 trillion when it IPO'd. Now we're told that the combined company is going to be worth $1.25 trillion, so less. So, I'm not quite sure if these trial balloons are telling us that there's more pressure behind the scenes than maybe we're picking up on. I'm fine with the grand vision, but it sounds like maybe a little bit more complicated behind the scenes.
Just trying to pass what she said there. Sounds like she was grasping at some potential FUD. Now, first of all, hearing a rumor about what SpaceX could potentially be valued at an IPO means nothing. I mean, any fuckwit can go post a rumor on X. Doesn't mean it's true. Second of all, most people would be expecting a SpaceX IPO around mid-year. Between now and then, the number of Starlink customers, the number of Starlink satellites in orbit, the amount of money Starlink is printing is going to continue to grow at a ridiculous rate. Late last year, they were adding about 25,000 customers per day. 6 months from now, with continued astronomical growth, no pun intended, phenomenal revenue and importantly, massive profits from your predictable, growing cash machine known as Starlink, and continued progress with Starship, which is going to enable even more profitable space internet and then eventually AI satellites. You would assume that the valuation of SpaceX over the next 6 months will in fact continue to increase. But to the earlier point, $1.5 trillion was not some official estimate. People just whispering shit. To her other point, she seems to be suggesting that there's some people out there implying that, well, this is a move out of desperation. SpaceX had to acquire XAI because XAI needs money. By the way, that's true. And therefore, the only possible option was SpaceX swooping in like Captain Save-A-Ho to save the day. Now, obviously, SpaceX is printing money, billions and billions and billions of dollars thanks to Starlink, and it's still early on Starlink. But just in case anyone's unaware, XAI could have continued to do what it's been doing since founding, which is raise money, invest, get a new valuation, raise more money, rinse, recycle, repeat. No end in sight. There's no problems here. XAI could have remained completely independent and continued to raise fuck tons of capital, deploy it, and seen its valuation steadily climb towards $1 trillion plus. Just consider for a moment the amount of investment happening in AI right now. But then also consider this guy called Elon Musk leading XAI. Do you really think that Musk starts a company, especially an AI company, that has proven its ability to leapfrog the industry, his track record over multiple decades and multiple domains? Do you really think that Elon's leading a company, majority shareholder, producing phenomenal results, embarrassing the rest of the industry, and this company goes to market to raise more capital after its valuation just keeps doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling with almost flawless execution, and capital dries up? People are like, oh, you know what, Elon? No, I don't think... No. You've got enough capital from us. We don't see any further opportunity here. We don't see this company continuing to grow. We'll ignore your track record. We don't want to produce our size returns. Sorry, no more capital for you. The idea that this was necessary, otherwise XAI is not going to have any cash, this is just fucking absurd, bro. They could have kept raising capital indefinitely. What's really happening here? There's so many synergies between these two companies, especially with SpaceX now clearly intent on launching 1 million plus AI satellites. It's so obvious these two companies should become one. As a result of this, new combined valuation will mean that raising capital is far less dilutive to existing shareholders. They can accelerate their plans. It's a match made in investor heaven. This isn't SpaceX coming in to save the day. It's the most obvious low-hanging merger/acquisition of all time.
But look at all these AI companies, whether it's OpenAI or Gemini, Google, spending huge amounts of money, right, doing data centers and everything else. Well, the best way for Musk to sustain that is to have it tied to a company like SpaceX that really is generating money like crazy and will do more so when everybody is using Starlink and other internet services to connect. So I think this is his only way to grow an AI company. And I know you're talking about a IPO you think's going to happen and it'll be, $1.25 trillion. I wouldn't be surprised if he delays that a little bit because I'm not sure he's in favor of going public. He likes staying private.
Certainly, Musk has made it clear that being a public company leader sucks. But Tesla's already a public company. So what if, as I've been hinting at, by the way, with no inside information at all, what if SpaceX, which now includes XAI, also gets folded into Tesla? End result, still one publicly traded company. More on that in a moment. But again, I'm going to keep putting this idea out there. It does make a hell of a lot of sense. There's a lot of synergies between Tesla, SpaceX, and XAI. And to Walter's earlier point, Tesla has the real-world AI. XAI has the digital AI. Those are the two necessary ingredients for artificial general intelligence. You can't have one without the other. Never mind Tesla's growing needs for AI training compute, which is going to be launched by SpaceX. Oh, and again, those satellites that SpaceX is going to be launching for what I continue to call Starthink are going to need solar panels. Oh, funny that. Tesla makes those things. Oh, how convenient. And chips. And fancy that, Tesla now almost certain to build a chip manufacturing plant, a chip fabrication plant, the Terafab. I mean, at this point in time, with each passing day, personally, I think the odds of a SpaceX IPO decrease and the odds of at least allowing Tesla shareholders to vote on the possibility of acquiring SpaceX grows.
Going to say, I mean, why take XAI? Why do it at all? You know, I mean,
exactly.
Access to capital.
I mean, what this does is it gives them the option of not doing an IPO.
Interesting. These companies would thus remain private, and perhaps you're saying that XAI can do so in a more sustainable way, drawing on SpaceX
LeBeau
cash flows.
will remember when he promised to take Tesla private.
Yeah, he will. He will. I think we do. This is sort of jogging our minds in that sense. I guess all I would say is if there's a chance that the SpaceX cash flows are reinvested in XAI instead of in SpaceX, is that a good outcome?
Well, I think what you're going to have, if he can get over the next 5-10 years, 1 million satellites in orbit, you will have the best energy generating and the best data centers there are. And yeah, I mean, it's maybe a problem if you have shareholders in one company who didn't like another, but this is pretty much private for him. He's always been able to look 10, 20 years down the road, have some audacious plan, like I'm going to go to Mars, but then backfill it with a business model that helps fund the way there.
Walter out here spitting some facts. Now, before we wrap up, I just wanted to run through some of the recent posting and ideas I've been putting out there on X, which again is now owned by SpaceX. What the fuck, bro? Unexpected convergence. This post was just a couple of days before it was announced that SpaceX had acquired XAI. I posted a table, which we'll get to. Let me just read the post. This post has absolutely nothing to do with SpaceX, XAI, Tesla, IPOs, or potential mergers. It also has nothing to do with 1 million AI satellites. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now here's the table. We're looking at market capitalization in trillions, a hypothetical capital raise of $50 billion, and what percent of that market cap the $50 billion raise amount equates to. I started with $1.5 trillion, a hypothetical starting point, at which point a $50 billion capital raise would represent 3.33% of the company. On the high side, to be honest. Some of Tesla's more recent capital raises have typically been around the 1.2 to 1.6 or 7% range. So let's say hypothetically, a company that definitely, remember, would not be SpaceX plus XAI plus Tesla, because again, nothing to do with any of these companies. At a $3 trillion market cap, $50 billion is in the more reasonable territory, 1.67%. But again, I just want to make sure everyone understands this has absolutely nothing to do with the possibility of SpaceX and or XAI merging. Oh, wait, they already did. Oops. And or getting folded into Tesla. Dramatic pause. That said, I would also like to point out this recent poll I conducted. I asked Tesla shareholders specifically if they wanted to own SpaceX too. 96.3% of the people who voted either yes or no, because remember, some people just want to see the results, voted in favor of owning SpaceX. Now, keep in mind, I do have the smartest audience on X, and according to Grok, the average IQ, 115 to 120. It seems about right. And I'm not actually trolling. If you polled every Tesla retail investor, you'd have a meaningfully lower, but not dramatically lower result. Maybe closer to 80%, maybe 75, I don't know. My point is, if you're watching my content, obviously you have a big brain. That's just true. Now, I have a suspicion, but of course I don't know, but I do have a suspicion that most of my followers on X have probably seen the results of this poll. Of course, I can't be certain that every follower I have on X has seen the results of this poll. What I can say with certainty, however, is that among my followers on X, there's a significant amount of support for the idea, not just of wanting to own some SpaceX as well, which is a previous poll, but check this one out, still underway. This time I asked, should SpaceX merge into Tesla? As I record this, 89.1, let's just round it up, closer to 90% of the people who voted would like to see this happen. Again, keep in mind the gigabrains following me, average Tesla retail investor, probably one standard deviation lower. Keep that in mind. Not completely representative of the average retail investor, but clearly, at least among my followers, overwhelming support for this idea. And I think from this we can at least assume that more than half, significantly more than half, probably closer to 3/4 of Tesla retail investors would probably be in favor of this. So if this was proposed to Tesla shareholders, it's a long shot, but it's possible. And until we have clarity one way or another, I promise you I'm going to continue to milk this, stoke rumours for all it's worth. Case in point, posted this overnight. I'm not saying there are signs, but I'm not saying there are not signs. With two opposing screenshots from the Tesla website, the menu, the first item, in fact, on the navigation was vehicles. On the SpaceX website, the first item on the navigation, also vehicles. I'd also just like to share some final thoughts if, hypothetically, SpaceX were to merge with Tesla. And just to be clear, I suspect that most institutional investors would balk at this idea. Brains too small, vision too clouded, thinking too short term, ambition too low. But as I said, and as I've shown, I think most retail investors would support this. This is important. So if SpaceX were to merge with Tesla, those who continue to hold the shares of this new giga company, as opposed to rage quit,
Fuck this, what the fuck does space have to do with electric vehicles? This is fucking bullshit, I'm selling my shares, fuck you, Elon.
the people who continue to hold the stock in this giga company would inevitably be ultra high conviction, ultra long term, big thinkers. This is actually great. That's the perfect shareholder base behind a company doing outrageously ambitious things, like, making Star Trek real and climbing the Kardashev scale. That would mean that no other company could dream of having such a goated shareholder base. This would be the ultimate purge, and there's value to purging retards among your investors, your supporters, your followers, your audience. You might have noticed that I've done my absolute best to offend as many retards as possible since I started this channel more than 6 years ago. Not because I was oblivious to the fact that sharing certain opinions and trolling certain people would cause them to get butthurt and rage quit the channel. That was the whole point. So if this were to happen, the end result, the investors still in the company, would be extremely supportive, especially of ambitious, ultra long-term projects. They'd be big thinkers. And it's not just that no other company could dream of having such an awesome shareholder base, but there would be no other shareholder base on Earth, no pun intended, that could dream of owning such an epic company with such vision and ambition. This would absolutely purge the conservative, suit-wearing, traditional investors completely out of the company. They just have instant 404 errors and be like, what the fuck, bro? Rockets and electric vehicles, that doesn't make sense. Selling. Which then would mean those who remained would be able to support these literally astronomical projects. It is the dream scenario. The problem, of course, if this were to be proposed to Tesla shareholders, is the institutional investors hold a significant portion of the company. Retail investors would need to turn out in droves. So hint, hint, if you happen to have discovered last time you couldn't vote your fucking Tesla shares, I hope you've moved to a broker with whom you currently can. If, hypothetically, this idea was proposed to Tesla shareholders, it could happen any day now, and you don't want to find out that you fucked around, didn't take action last time after you discovered you couldn't vote your shares, don't have the opportunity and then find out later that this misses by 0.5%. But of course, this is all hypothetical because nobody knows if this is even going to happen. Maybe I'll share some more of my thoughts about how likely this is over on Patreon. One final thought to leave you with. Elon Musk does not fuck around. The speed at which he is moving, the sense of urgency, the bias for action is clear. It's palpable. It's real. Don't be surprised if we have more meaningful updates in the blink of an eye. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.